Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a play and review of Dirt and Dust. This is a 2 to 4 player competitive deck building racing game, but I'll be showing the official solo mode for the game and seeing how that plays. And disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our weekly podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So as I said, Dirt and Dust is a racing deck builder, but it does a lot of things different from most deck builders. First of all, you're going to be playing your cards to these little spots here and rolling dice and activating cards by using the die that's above the card in that position. And then the cards that are on your action board are going to slide down one space at the end of each round, so some cards can get used multiple times if you roll the right values to use them. And how the racing works is you pick one of these 10-card racetracks, and you can see 6 of the cards at a time. And how that actually works is a little hard to explain. It's definitely pretty weird thematically. But basically, you're going to be spending traction, one of your resources, to scout ahead on the cards that are coming up and put one of your tokens on them. And when you do that, that will cause your car to move different directions, which moves your little car position marker over here. And you're trying to pretty much stay in the middle and straight ahead, although sometimes you want to go to the sides for more popularity. And that's going to determine how much speed you get when you pass by those parts of a track. And your speed basically represents the speed of your racing time, because this is rally racing where you're not all racing at the exact same time. And you're trying to have, the most victory points, most speed points, whatever you want to call it. Again, theme's a little weird. I'll talk about that in my review. But let's get into the game and just play the first round, and I'll explain how things work. Just to note, I'm using the Ocean track, which is the most basic of the tracks available in the game with the most normal effects. You always have a market of 9 different types of cards available, but they each have an A and a B version. I'm using all of the A, the basic versions. And I'm playing against the Automa opponent at its normal difficulty level, not easier, not harder. Okay, the first step of each round is the dice roll phase. If the bot had gotten any of its dice yet, it would roll them. How it works is it rolls one of its blue, in this case, colored dice, and one of these black hazard dice. So it will roll no dice this first turn on the difficulty I picked. 1 die next turn, 2 dice the turn after that, 3 dice the round after that, and then it'll roll 3 dice for the rest of the game. And that's the main difficulty modifier. Could have it get its dice even later to score fewer points, or I could have it start with some dice and unlock the rest earlier. But I'm going to roll my 3 dice. If I had any of these hazard dice from previous damage, I would have to roll them too and suffer the consequences. So here I got a single 1, a single 6, and a single 3. Okay, now I go into the driving phase. This is really the meat of the game where I'm going to play cards and take actions. In a multiplayer game, this would be simultaneous. Basically, all the phases are simultaneous. And your initial deck is made up of 5 cards keyed to one of 4 racers you picked. So here I've got Ferenc Kovacs, and then every player has the same 5 basic cards as well. Now, these have a lot of icons. Let's talk through what we've got. So first of all, the cards will have generally an effect on the left that can always be resolved, and then an effect on the right that has a little up and sort of down symbol here. And this represents where your car currently is. If it's in this top row, which means it's accelerating, then you use the top effect on those cards. If it's in the bottom row, then you use the decelerating bottom effect. Although sometimes it won't matter. Like here, I would get 1 wrench regardless. The 2 main resources cards are giving you are wrenches. These can both be used as mitigation. 1 wrench can change the value of an unused die up or down 1 to get you to the kind of card you want. And then wrenches are also what you use to buy new cards, put them in your discard pile, and eventually use them in your deck. And the other resource cards will give you, shown by a tire symbol, is traction. Traction, first of all, lets you move your car side to side on the track, but only when you're decelerating. When you're accelerating, you can't really move your car on your own. And where your car ends up is going to determine how much speed, how many victory points you get when you pass by parts of the track. But also, the most important thing in the game, putting your markers down on these parts of the track, that costs traction as well. So traction tends to be the most important resource of the game that you're going for. You also have this damage track. If you get hazard dice, you're going to roll them, and the amount of damage they indicate is how much you'll take. And anytime you get to the 5, you go back to the 0 and you flip one of these, which is going to give you increasingly challenging effects to deal with as your car falls apart. All right, so what do we got? So the first card for Ferenc Kovacs, this left effect, and all effects, by the way, are optional when you resolve them unless indicated otherwise. When I resolve the card, it can let me discard every card from my action row if I'm running out of spots, and it'll always give me 1 wrench even if I don't want to do that. His second type of card always gives me 1 wrench as well, but if my car is in the yellow, which means over in these spots or these spots, It also gives me 2 traction, but then I have to discard the card. It won't stay on my action row to be used again. And then finally, this last card, if I'm accelerating, it gets me 1 popularity. I'll show you what that means in a second. If I'm decelerating, I get attraction. And these effects here are on a lot of cards where you have like sort of a yellow symbol behind there. These are called passive effects. While it's in my action row, I can once per round just put a little token here and use that ability without using a die. I'd still have to use a die to get the stuff on the right side of the card, but it kind of gives you a once per round cool ability to use. In this guy's case, I can take a 1 or 2 cost, 2 wrench cost card and put it on top of my deck. So this guy is really like the best out of the 4 characters at getting stuff into your deck and like buying more of those cards. Okay, then I've got on the road. I can optionally discard any action card in my road. And if I'm in the front, accelerating, I can get a tire, a traction. And then prepared, this is a super important symbol on some cards. This symbol, when you resolve it, is how you go from accelerating to decelerating or vice versa. And if I'm in the back, I can get the wrench. And you can, again, optionally resolve any of these effects, and you can resolve them in whatever order you want. Now, additionally, you can take a hazard die and immediately roll it to give yourself 2 traction whenever you want. Now, unless you have a card that lets you get rid of that hazard die, and you do start with 1 in your deck, you're going to be dealing with potentially a lot of damage, but sometimes the 2 traction is exactly what you need to do something really useful and important. One more quick thing before I fully play out my turn. I mentioned popularity. Some cards will give you popularity. Also, if you are in the red, when you would pass by a card that you scouted out previously, instead of getting victory point speed, you get popularity. This track over here. And first of all, some cards will require popularity to fire off their effects. But the biggest effect of popularity is at the beginning of each round, whoever has the most popularity gets to roll this popularity die, which has 2 blank faces, 2 1s, and 2 2s. And this becomes a 4th action die for you to use. But if you get a 1 or a 2 and can use it as an action die, it also decreases your popularity by the matching amount. So like by 1 if you rolled a 1, which means you're not that likely to keep the popularity forever. The bot can also get the popularity die, but it doesn't do anything for them. But they still roll it and still lose the popularity to give you a chance to catch up. All right, let's see. First, I'm going to put my character card here on the left. Since it has a passive ability, I want it to last on my line for a while. I'm going to go ahead and activate its passive ability and get a 1 or 2 wrench card. So the most powerful cards are, of course, the 7 and 5 and the 4, but I can afford an anti-lag valve that will let me change a die to any other value and get me 1 or 2 wrenches. Damper adjustment gives me another way to change whether I'm accelerating or decelerating. It also gets me wrenches. Momentum lets me discard a card from the action row and get a bunch of traction. And then Roadbook lets me discard all the cards from the action row if I want and gets me 2 traction. Holy crud. But this means I get -1 victory point at the end of the game just for having this in my deck, unless I find a way to trash it or cull it first. So let's see. Some more traction and some more wrenches. Both sound good. Let's start with the damper adjustments. I'll put this on top of my action deck. And then I'll also go ahead and activate this. Since I'm accelerating, I get 1 fame, which should guarantee me getting the fame die next round before the AI starts competing for it. Let's see, what else do I want to do here? I'll use it on the road just because I'm accelerating and I want to get the traction. I'm not going to discard any cards from my action row. And I do dial it in, and you keep these resources round to round. So like if you don't spend your wrenches, you still have them. Same thing with traction. And then let's see, prepared, or I'll just use this to get a wrench. I'm not going to discard all of my action cards. All right, and that's it. Now we go into the stage evaluation phase. So all these cards move down, which means the AI will get a die roll next round. And if I had one of my scouting tokens on here, then I would resolve my current location for speed and getting victory points. But here I wasn't on there, so it just goes away. And this reveals the top card of the deck as well. These are always resolved in order. And if you actually kind of follow the art, it sort of shows the scope of the racetrack, which is really cool. But yeah, there are 10 cards total, and they are numbered to remind you. All right, and to finish out, we do the preparation phase. So first, all of our cards slide to the right, which means this one's now in the discard pile. Then we get our dice back. If these cards are ready to be activated again. Then we can discard any number of cards we want. I don't really need the prepared, right? Because I just got a better card that lets me change lanes. Although, well, actually, I might want to go like down to decelerating and then come back. So I will keep this. I won't discard any of them right now. And then I draw back up to 5 cards. If I need to draw from my deck and it's empty, I will shuffle. There's the damper adjustment I just got. There's another one of those. All right, cool. All right, now let's go to round 2, but let's show you how these cards work. So I'm going to roll all of the hazard dice they've unlocked, plus 1 bot die per one. So we're going to have pairs. And then we pair them up. Oh, that was a really good one. So this is a little bit annoying, but how it works is I can take one of my dice of the matching value 3, if I happen to roll one, or if I can change it to a 3 with wrenches, and cover that up so they don't get anything. Otherwise, they get speed, automatic victory points equal to the damage symbols, and a popularity to get them the die instead of me equal to the blue popularity symbol. So we'll see if I'll be able to fill that up. And I'm getting the popularity die this round because I have 1 and they have 0. Let's see how things work out. Hey, I did get a 3, and I got a 5, and I got another 5, and I got a 1, which also means I lose 1 popularity, so I'm back down to 0. And all right, clearly I'll need some wrenches if I want to do anything besides just get popularity and a little bit of traction. So I've got the damper adjustment. Remember, they can get me a bunch of wrenches and change which row I'm in. Still got the prepared. I've got, both copies of this, which is pretty amazing if I can get into the yellow, which I think I can. And I've got another one of these, although I don't know how many level 1 and 2 cards I need to add to my deck. That might be too much. Well, let's see. I do want to cover up their die, I think. That was one of the worst results they could have rolled. Oh, man, that severely limits what I can do, doesn't it? Well, here, let's use that power again. And I'm going to add the -1 victory point road book this time to just get me some automatic traction when I use that card. And then I think I'm going to play my prepared here. And I'm going to first use it to change down to there. And then I'm going to gain another wrench. So that gets me to 2. And then I hate to do it, but I kind of need more traction. So I'm going to take a hazard die and roll it immediately to get... okay, that's 3, but I do get 2 popularity, so hey, that's nice. And this will also hang around. I'll have to roll it again and again and again every round until I repair it. But I've got 3 traction. I'm going to spend all of it to scope out this thing ahead that we're about to pass. So I'm going to move 3 to the right, and then if my car is decelerating, I'll get 2 wrenches. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, crud. Hold on. Let me say that I decelerated to there because I wanted to be in the yellow to use my other power. Okay, but 3 and then 2 wrenches, so I'm up to 4. Nice. And now at the moment, I will only get 2 speed, 2 victory points for passing that card that I put my token on. If I can get up to here, it'd be 3. If I can get up to here, it'd be 4. But I'm in the yellow, and what I want to be in the yellow for this, baby. So I'm going to spend 1 wrench to lower this down to a 4. Then I'm going to use it. And I will get the wrench first. I'm get a wrench whether I'm decelerating or accelerating. And then because I'm in the yellow, I'm getting 2 traction, but sadly the card discards itself. And then because I want to go a little faster and get more wrenches, I'm going to play this one. Use a wrench to change this into a 6. And I will get 2... Oh, sorry. First I'm going to change up to accelerating. And then I'll go up to 5 wrenches. And should I buy a card? I got 5, which is a lot. Let's look at the most expensive ones. So the 4 lets you permanently trash a card. That's pretty nice. And then it gets you some traction. Not bad at all. The 5, which I can afford, if you spend a popularity, you can get a boost die. That's one of those once per round things. Means you roll the boost die immediately, and it's an extra die to use that round. Pretty dang good. And then also look at this. If you are decelerating, you can repair a hazard. Oh my gosh, this is too good. Repair a hazard die and get the thing. Okay, we're going to buy this for all 5, I think. And then discard cards as quickly as I can because I want to get that repairing action going on. Now, by the way, if I ever get to the 7 racing line, it's worth 2 victory points. And look, you just get a free red die every turn. Like if you put it in your 6 action slot, you're going to get it for the next billion rounds. And you can get traction for popularity or get some free things. But yeah, the extra die is really the main thing. Okay, but I'll stop there. The AI gets nothing. I am on the cards, so they get their second die, but I take this off, discard this, and we check my current value, 3. And yellow works the same as regular. Red's the only one where you get popularity. So yay, into an early lead. And then everything slides down, including all of my stuff sliding down. And do I want to keep either of these? I do want to keep this because I am still in yellow, so that seems pretty darn good. But I'll discard that one to... Oh, I'm still drawing. I want to try to go through my deck faster to get to my good card. But I did get my road book. Where's my repairing? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, you start with this one as well. If you are decelerating, you can spend a popularity to repair a hazard die. So I might use that this round. Oh, the popularity die goes back, although I'm about to take it again because I'm still the most popular. Okay, so they are rolling 2 dice this time. We just randomly pair them up. I'm just going to do it based on where they land. Looks good to me. Okay, so 2 just movement of speed. I might try to block one of those, but they aren't really too bad. But yeah, 5s and 6s if I have some I don't really care about. And I'm getting the popularity die. Here, let's roll that first. Oh, I still kept one. And then the scary part, I got to roll my dice, including my 1 hazard. Oh, that was nice. Let's get rid of it before it gets bad again. Okay, I got a 6 if I want to block them up. I don't have any wrenches to move stuff this round. That's okay. So what do I want to do? I would need 3 traction. Wait a second. I don't have 2 traction, do I? Oh, that's right. I did get 2 tractions. So I need 3 to do the part of the course I'm currently on. But it would force me to take a hazard die and immediately roll it. I don't know if I want that. If I instead get up to 4 traction and do this next card, that would be 3 to the side. And if I get down first, I'll be right in the middle again. That sounds pretty good. So to that end. Let's go ahead and play this for one of the 3s, I guess. Or do I just want to use like the road book for 4 traction? I might. Well, no, I'd kind of rather the roadbook would be over here to give me potential use of it for a while. So, okay, let's use this once. I'm going to get 1 wrench, and I'm going to get 2 traction since I'm in the yellow, but it discards itself, which, hey, now means I can use something else for my 3. I mean, yeah, let's go ahead and do what I said and get the road book. Oh, that's right, I could block them getting 2 speed, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to get myself 2 more traction. That is a lot. And then I was thinking I might change lanes, but actually, let's go ahead and get rid of the hazard die before it gets worse. Oh, wait, I need to change lanes to benefit from that. Oh, I still have I forgot about the 1 popularity die. Well, here we go. Let's try this. I will put prepared here. I will use that to go down to decelerating and to gain 1 wrench. Then I'll use the wrench to change this to a 2. You can do that with the popularity die. You just can't change it to like a 3 because it doesn't exist on the die. Oh, I didn't show you engine tuning, the other starter card. If you use a 6, you get a boost die, so it kind of replaces it plus a wrench. Pretty crappy card, honestly, because unless you're doing it with a 6, it's not really doing much. But yes, now I will play tightening screws, which means I can spend my 1 popularity, I'm back to 0, to repair my hazard die. So I won't have to roll that again. I'm also going to spend 4 of my... Oh, wait, hold on. Before I do that, I have to finish resolving this. Do I want to trash anything? Or not trash it, but discard it? Oh, I didn't use this yet. I mean, honestly, these are all pretty good effects. And now I'm okay. So yeah, I'm going to do 4... to lock in not this one, but the next one, which is going to move me 3 right to the center, and I could discard an action card I don't want to. So if I can change, well, don't forget, I'm not passing that card this round, I'm passing it next round. So as long as I move up next round, I'll get the max of 4 speed. Although I guess the AI is just getting 4 speed straight up this turn, so maybe I should have put one of my dice on there to stop them. Because I didn't really need the extra 2. Actually, you know what? What the hey? I don't need it. It didn't do anything for me. So let's say that I did block up one of their 2 dice with this. And I'll save the road book for next round's 6 or whatever. Oh, I want to get to my new card faster. Okay, I'll put it down. And do I want to get a 1 or a 2 for free? My deck's going to get 2 full eventually. But the damper adjustment, the road book are both really good. But I don't think I want to do it. I want to save up for like a really big card again. All right, so at the end of the round, they get 2 speed. I blocked the other one. This comes off, so now they'll be rolling their max 3, and I still keep that, so I will get some speed next round when we pass that. All my stuff slides down, although I don't have many slots, which could be a problem, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to discard this credit card and then redrop to 5. I'll try to get my cool card. I did not, although I don't have any popularity to pay for the boost die anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter much. All right, round 3 dice. This is going to be scary. Okay, actually, that's not too bad. Yeah, let's just match them up by there. So I really want to block the 5, but the rest I don't really care about. And I'm not getting popularity, neither are they. Yeah, let's see where the dice go, because I don't have very many wrenches, and all the slots pretty much are already filled. Well, that's interesting. Not sure it's like good interesting. Well, I guess I can change to accelerating like I wanted to get max speed. But gosh, I don't have a 5 like at all. That's going to hurt. Including not having a 5 for the road book. Man, this is not great. All right, well, I guess it is what it is. I'm not going to use any wrenches. So I'll go ahead and move this one down. I won't do the change, but I will get 1 wrench. Do it again. This time I will move to the front, but after getting another wrench. And then I'll use tightening screws to get 1 traction. And then do I want to throw something away? I feel like now I probably should. Yeah, you know what? Let's get rid of the prepared. because I'm just realizing that damper adjustment is better anyway, and I'm already in the lane I want to be for the moment. And I do have 3 wrenches, but I don't think I want to spend them yet. I already added a lot of cards in my deck. I want to save up for like that 7 or that 4. Although this one would be good once I get the turbocharger or racing line going, because look, if I use a red die to activate it, first of all, it gives me 1 victory point, but then I get 2 traction automatically plus 1 more. So 3 traction just for using the dice I'm getting for free from these. Pretty dang cool. All right, but they're getting a popularity. They're getting 4, but I'm passing here when I'm right in the middle. Perfect line, so I'm also getting 4. But now I've got very little traction to do that again next round. Oh, and we have reached almost the halfway point, which means the 10 card is revealed. And this one's super important because you'll see that when I put a token on this, I get this plus token symbol. What that means is once I've spent 6 traction to get that one activated, I then become able and eligible to put up to 3 tokens on these cards. Now, each time you do that, you still have to pay the traction cost. You still have to move your car on the track. You still have to suffer the effects if it's an automatic one like this. But when you pass the card, you get to multiply wherever your speed location is by the number of tokens here. So the max would be 12 victory points in a single card if you can race past it at max speed. So something cool to try for if I can, but we'll see how things go. For now, though, that's going down. And I definitely don't want engine tuning. Am I going to be in the yellow? I might be. I don't think I really need that one. I'm not trying to add a ton of cards. I already did. Definitely don't need that one. Yeah, I mean, all these are kind of meh. So that should definitely, hey, there it is. If I can get some popularity, which I don't really know how to at the moment, it should let me use the turbocharger. One of the big ways to get popularity is to let yourself go all the way to the right or the left. Now, if your movement to the side would cause you to go past the far space, then you take a hazard die, but you only take 1 no matter how much extra movement. So like if I was already here and I had like move me 3 to the right, I would still only get a single hazard die of damage. All right, let's see what they get this time. Okay, so the 1 we definitely want to prevent, but the other 2 aren't that big a deal. Oh, and they have the most popularity, and they didn't lose it, sadly, so they're staying at a 1. Okay, so I really hope that I get a 1 or a 2. Okay, I can lower that down, and a 6. Okay, 4 gets me the road book. That's definitely great. So yeah, let's not even waste time. Let's go ahead and do that to get 2 more traction. I'm not going to trash everything. And then, yeah, before I forget, let's go ahead and dial this down to 1 and block his big point maker. Man, not doing a ton, am I? Where do I want to go? I'd like to get some popularity. So honestly, getting enough traction to lock that and then moving 3 to the side would be... Oh, well, but I guess I wouldn't... I wouldn't actually be like passing that card for the popularity bonus. So if I did this one and then found a way to like slide 1 more, that might work. Or this one, but that's so much more expensive. Well, this is kind of interesting. Let's try this out. I'm going to activate the turbocharger, and I want it to be on the left so I can use it for several rounds to gain 1 popularity, and then I'll immediately spend that popularity to get a boost die. Let's see where that goes. Okay, that could get me another popularity, which is not necessarily what I want. Well, or maybe it is. Then I wouldn't have to worry about the popularity for next round, right? Well, sure. I'll just get a popularity back to spend on the thing next round. I don't know. I'm not going to be in the yellow to get those cards. I'm not loving this guy's cards. The other driver I played last game I liked better. They had like this whole thing where they would get hazard dice but mitigate them really well so they would barely take damage. That's okay. I just don't know how to use this one well yet. But I'm not going to do anything yet. So this one just goes. They do get 2 speed, so they go into the lead. And we're officially at the halfway point now with 5 cards left. All my stuff slides down. And I don't know, man, do I want to keep any of this? I guess they're prepared to have another way to change. Decelerating, accelerating is good, but the rest I'm going to discard and hopefully get some better options. We'll see. All right, here we go. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, we'll talk about the solo mode when I get to my review at the end. But sometimes you get turns like this. Yup, there it is. For context, half the dice faces are pretty basic. So look, 0, 1, and 2. And then you've got these other 3. Now, for a player taking this damage, the fact that you get some popularity is sort of like a little bonus, but you're taking 3 damage no matter what. So this means that on average, each of these dice is going to roll, I guess, like 2 or 3. So they tend to actually be more like this. I've been getting lucky previously. So if I get 1s and 4s, I might block them. Well, let's see what we're going to do. Oh, by the way, nobody rolls the popularity die because it was, That's a lot of potential traction. And let's go ahead and spend my 1 popularity to get a boost die. Here we go. Oh, a 6. Okay. Now I need, what is it? I need 3 more traction to get the card that I was going to use to move there. Although, should I just do the card at the top and try to, like, build up to some big stuff? I'm not sure. Well, either way, I definitely want to get 4 traction, right? That'd just be silly not to take advantage of. That gets me to 7. But I'm thinking, honestly, forget the popularity. I don't need the popularity die. Well, it is really nice to have extra actions, though, and the turbocharger is going to give me extra dice. I'm just trying to decide if I, like, do the 6 card that's immediately in front of me and move over here to get 5 popularity. But if the AI is going to, like, be ahead by 50 speed, does it matter? But it might if I'm getting an extra die from this every round and then the popularity die for, like, a few rounds until it runs out. But 5 popularity is going to run out pretty quickly. I don't know. I'm going to spend 1 wrench to move this to be a 2. And then I'm going to use this. I'll first get 2 wrenches. Then I'll go into decelerating mode down here. Oh, no, down here. And then I'm going to spend 6, going down to 1, to do this one in front of me, which is going to move me 3 to the right. I'll be in the yellow. Oh, and this removes an active card specifically. So let's say I put this on my board to make it active, and then I trashed it. Bye-bye. See, I definitely have some cruddy cards to get rid of. Okay. Now, what do I want to do? I could go up to get a yellow 3 speed. That might be the best I can do. I could use the prepared to do that with the 1 boost die. Alternatively, I could, take a hazard die to get enough traction to go to the middle and go up and get 4 instead of 3. But the very next card will move me 2 to the left. So no, I think I'm gonna do prepared and then move this down to get a 4th wrench and go up to yellow. Oh, I discarded the cards that give me traction for being in yellow. I thought I still had them. Whoops. Do I want to buy something? I guess not. I don't know, man. Again, I'm not really using this guy the best I could. All right, so this card drops away. I'm moving 3. They're moving 9. Great. Oh, and what was I talking about being able to compete there at 17, by the way? Because they're getting 5 popularity, so I wasn't going to get the popularity die regardless. All right, now as things drop off, what do I want to do? I don't really need any of these. Let's get rid of all of them. All right, we go into the next dice phase. Let's roll their stuff. Okay, that's definitely better. They got a 1, so if I can just get a 2 to block that, and they didn't lose any popularity. I mean, not that I care necessarily, because I'm not going to beat them anyway. But yeah, if I can block the 2, this is not going to be a good round for them. Will it be a good round for Mike? I kind of feel like maybe not, but let's see what I need. I need a 2 to block them, so I can get that with my extra wrenches. None of this is great for me, though. So I'm going to get 5 traction to be able to slide to the middle and move up 4. Without rolling any road books, that's tough. I don't have any popularity yet. I could activate the turbocharger to get the popularity and then roll the boost and hope that it's a 2. Although the 2 right now is the thing that would let me most easily block them. So do I really want to activate the road book instead? Oh, and I did get the thing that I wanted, and I'm in the yellow. Let's try to do that first. So let's go ahead and, let's try it out. I'll get a popularity, spend it to get a boost die, and hopefully it'll be on the lower end of things so I can, okay, that's great. But I don't want to do the road book. I want to block their big die, so I'll do that. But I still need, 5 traction? How is that going to happen? I mean, I did get 1 of these back, and then I can take a hazard die. I kind of hate to do it. Wish I could just discard that, but I can't. Okay, so I'm going to spend 1 to make this a 6. Where is it? And I'm going to put that down. That'll get me a wrench and get me 2 more traction. But then it discards itself. And then I'll take a hazard die. I mean, I haven't taken much damage yet. Let's see how it goes. Okay, I got a single point of damage. I mean, I might just want hazard dice for like some of the popularity that'll pay for turbocharger. But that'll get me to 5 traction, and I'll spend all of it to lock this in, which moves me 2 to the left. I'm right in the middle, and I get a popularity. That was all great. And I still have this prepared, or I could move it to the side. Man, I got a popularity to pay for that now. I don't want to pay enough to get all the way down to road book. That seems wasteful. Oh, here, what if I put tightening screws here, pay 1 wrench, and then I'll get a traction, and I can discard the prepared because that seems like the worst card I have on the board right now. All right, so they go up 1 to 18. I go up 4, so catch them back up. We only have 3 rounds left. Yikes. All right, and let's see what I got. Definitely some stuff, including both of the yellow cards, if I can get into the yellow. All right, so first, what are they doing? They definitely have the popularity die again. Oh, that looks pretty nasty. I guess I'll do it like that. And they once again did not lose any popularity. That's only a 1/3 chance. But hey, if it was me rolling, I wouldn't get to use the die for any extra bonuses. So like a 2 and a 5 would be the best things to block, but honestly, they're just getting a lot this round. All right, how about me? Let's not get too damaged. Okay, well, 1 with no popularity. That's no fun. Okay, so I flip the first one. I will now move 1 more every time one of those cards sends me to one side or the other. Okay, and I've got all of this stuff. So first, let's spend my last popularity, my only popularity, to use my turbocharge. Oh my god, what do I have to put there, man? Wish I had my road book, but I could have used one of those powers to put a 2 on top of my deck, but that would have been -1 speed at the end of the game. That doesn't seem worth it. Well, let's see, how much do I need? 4, and it would send me 1 to the right, but 2 with my current damage, but I would get to heal a hazard. So that being the case, let's take another hazard die to get to 3. Ooh! 1, 2, 3, but hey, I got a popularity. And then I need 1 more traction. I need 1 more. Well, here, on the road, I can do that. I'm going to actually have it discard itself after I get the last traction. Then I'll spend all 4 to do that card. Lets me repair 1 hazard, and I go 2 to the right, get me the yellow. Okay, and then let's go and put this here, and I'll activate it the first time. I get a wrench, and it goes away, but I get 2. And then, hey, what do you know? I got another one. And I'll get another wrench and 2 more traction. I'm getting 3 speed here, which is pretty good. Oh, I forgot all about their badness out here. So let's spend 1 wrench to change this to a 5 and block 1 of their best dice. That's not going to be enough, but hey, at least I won't be too far behind. All right, and I pass with 3 speed as we come down to the last 2 cards, but they're getting 5 in a popularity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm so far behind. All right, and let's go again. Come on, low values. That was not bad. That was not bad. 1 really bad thing to block. Wait, that was in the middle. Yeah, I think that's, I don't know. But yeah, the big thing I need to block is a 3. And hey, they lose 1 popularity. The big thing is I got 1 to fire off my turbocharger. I did draw my road book again for some more traction. I've got 4, but this one's going to send me to the right, and I'm already on the right side. So I kind of want to activate this, then this, and that could be pretty nice. That would cost me 11 traction. That seems unlikely. Seems very unlikely. Well, let's roll and see what happens. Okay, 2 5s and a 1. I do have a lot of wrenches. Oh, wait a second. This should have been discarded. Whoops. Because I also use it in the yellow. All right, so what have I got? What have I got? So, I mean, the road book makes the most sense here, right? That'll get me to 8 traction. And then if I spend 6 of it, I'll go to there. But then I want to still spend 5 more to get over there. Oh, whoops. Well, let's use my turbocharger and see what my options are there. 2. Okay. Oh, wait. I totally forgot to roll this, didn't I? 1, 2, 3. So now all the cards cost 1 extra wrench, but like wrench movement and stuff does not. And I get a popularity, so that's cool. I can pay for the thing again. All right, so none of these get me traction. Gosh. Well, I have a lot of wrenches. Maybe I can go 1, 2, 3. And then move this down. Oh, no, that's right. I wanted a 3 to block them from getting stuff. So let's spend 1 and then cover up their worst die. Well, it's not really going to help me get anywhere. Well, you know what I could try to do? I could try to do the final card twice and try to be in the middle when it resolves. So I'll spend, first I will change lanes. I'll move down first and I'll go as far to that side as I can, and then I'll get a wrench. Okay, then I'll spend 6 of my 8 traction to do this. So now I can put more on that, but I'm going to move 3 plus 1 for my damage 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dead center. It's nice where I want to be. But I'm not passing that card yet, so I won't actually benefit from it. And that's it, right? Shoot. Okay. So if I can get another 4 traction next round, which would be enough to place another thing on the card, and then enough traction to move back and come up into the front, I could get 8, which if they roll terribly might get me to tie them. Is the best I can hope for, I think. Yeah, they're moving 2. I'm not moving at all. So they're at 25. That's pretty far. But hey, look at this. My turbocharger lasts until the last round. Okay, I just really hope they roll like crud. That would be the key to success here. I mean, me rolling well is also nice, but I want them to roll badly. So let's see. Oh, that doesn't seem bad. That doesn't seem bad at all. And they didn't lose any popularity. Good for them. All right, well, there's no way I'm going to beat them. So even though theoretically I should try to cover up their stuff. That's boring. Let's try to get as many things on that final card as possible, I think, to have fun. Here, let's go ahead and turbocharge with my only popularity. Okay. I got a lot of wrenches to move stuff around. I can take hazards twice to get 2 more traction. All right, so let's spend 1 to get that to be a 4. Move it down, gets us to 4 traction. Let's take 1 hazard die. Wait, did I roll it? I did not roll it. Oh, that one hurts. Gets me 1 popularity. And then let's take another one to get to 6 traction. Hey, a blank, that's nice. Okay, I'm going to spend all 6 to put another token down on that thing, which moves me 1, 2, 3, 4 more over. But hey, you know what 4 does? It gets me that, and it's going to get me that, which means because I'm in the yellow, 2 traction and a wrench, 4 traction and a wrench. And then with that 4, 1, 2, 3, let's move into there. And then, I need to change lanes, so 1 to get that over. And then I save this damper adjustment. I'll change lanes and then get 2 more wrenches. And then for 6, although with a 1 penalty, let's buy something that's worth stuff. Okay, both of these are worth 3, so it cost me 4 with my penalty, so I'll have 2 wrenches over, so I'll go and buy that just to get a victory point to cancel out my road book penalty. And that'll be that. They are getting 9 movement. Who cares? But I'm getting 8, because I'm in dead center, getting it twice. So I did reach the position they were last round. Good job, Mike. So yeah, not a great result, but I was not using the special cards for this driver very well, I would say. But let's discuss Dirt and Dust. And this is going to be a pretty mixed review because I have conflicted thoughts on this one. So first of all, I think the deck building is okay. I have had games where I've added more cards to my deck and games where I've added fewer. Again, there's an alternate card for every one of these, so like kind of 18 card types in total. Plus you have 4 different drivers, each with a unique set of 5 cards, although it's really 3 cards with 2 doubles. So the deck building's okay. I don't think I'm doing it the best I could, but it looked like I could have gotten a bunch of shakedowns to get me more traction and trash the weaker cards from my hand. A few games I've gotten like Racing Line and combined it with Hairpin Turn, so there are combos to be had and even more in the B set. But still, it's not really a game of like adding tons of cards to your deck. Because as you saw, when you get really good cards and put them on the more leftmost spots of your action board, they're going to be in play for most of the game, potentially, because there's only 10 rounds. And, by the time you save up for a big card and then use it for the last 6 rounds or whatever, that might be the entire game. So I think if you're looking for a deck builder where you're adding cards frequently, this is not going to blow you away. It's not going to necessarily float your boat. Now, what I do think is very cool is the entire action system and the dice. Now, yes, it can be very swingy. If you need dice that are high values and you roll all low, yes, the wrenches can mitigate, but there you go. That does play into what you do on your turn, because if you fill your entire board and play cards from your hand, you're limiting your options, whereas if you keep cards and leave some spots empty, it's easier to play things exactly where you need them to capitalize on your die rolls. But yeah, the dice thing I can kind of take or leave. It's sometimes frustrating, sometimes it's cool. But this whole action row is very unique. I've never seen a deck builder that did something like this, where the cards you play are both limiting your options of how you can do card play in the future. Because every time you use a die, it's kind of like you're playing that card, at least compared to a traditional deck builder. It's kind of like you're playing that card again. And yeah, getting really powerful cards that you bought and putting them on the board near the end and getting to use them for multiple rounds in a row, especially with these passive effects that you can trigger over and over, I think that's really cool. And again, gives the game a unique feel. And the comboing of actions, combined with paying for the cards, combined with, adjusting where your car is. Sometimes you want popularity. Sometimes you want to be in the yellow. You often want to be in the middle to get the most speed. I think that's really nice. The ability to take these hazard dice to get some traction and potentially popularity, but have nastier and nastier things happen to you. I think that's pretty cool. So I like all of that, the mitigation, the action choices. Although again, it can just be frustrating. If you keep on rolling the worst damage results, if you keep on rolling the worst die things, the game gives you some things to mitigate it, but not necessarily enough to make up for your badness. And it's just kind of an unforgiving game in general. When I've taught it to other people and they've played, some of them have grokked it and some of them have totally died and been really frustrated and not really understood what was going on. Now let's talk about a really important thing, one of my biggest kind of issues with the game. And that is theme. And this is not the game's fault. They didn't know that Mike was a huge racing fan when they made it. They didn't even care about me. But this is a racing game, and it's cool that you have different courses. It's cool that you see where you're going. I understand that it's rally racing where you're not really racing neck and neck, so you don't need to have a board where you're next to each other. Wouldn't make thematic sense anyway. But dude, I don't know, man. The paying to like put these down and then you immediately move there. Like, I know miles down the track that the course is going to curve way to the left. So when my navigator scouts it out, I turn then? I don't know. It makes so little sense. Like, they're trying to make it a racing theme. I don't feel like I'm racing. I don't even know what the heck is going on. Like, it feels like I'm just trying to set up things to get victory points. I mean, like, the racing is there. If you squint, you can maybe explain it to yourself and try to say this is a racing game. And like, it technically is, but it doesn't feel like racing at all. And this whole thing just, it feels like maybe it was some other theme originally. I might be totally wrong on this. They might have like known it was rally racing the entire time and it informed every design decision. But looking at it from the outside after the fact, this feels like it was something else and they just kind of put racing in. I don't know. So it's still interesting tactically figuring out like when you want to commit and when you don't. And especially once you've unlocked that ability to put multiple ones on one thing, if you play better than I did, then that can be pretty cool. But yeah, the theme is strained, to say the least. And I think if you're a racing fan, it might even be a drawback. If you don't care about racing, you just like cool deck builders with interesting action choices and a lot of randomness, I think you might really like this. But for me, as a huge racing fan, it was held me back. I was like, this doesn't feel, when I taught it to other people, they're like, this is a racing game? And I was like, yeah, I know. But anyway, your results may vary for that. It's going to depend on your perspective. Now, last thing, the solo mode. Blah. I don't like it because you saw it's incredibly random. Like, yes, it does tend to average out and they do tend to add the similar amount of speed when you like kind of stretch it across all the rounds, and being able to have them get their dice later or have them get them earlier just tends to move them farther along. So that's all fine. But still, it just feels so swingy and frustrating in the moment when you roll really badly. And the biggest thing is preventing them from moving farther is achieved by making you do less. And the best part of the game by far is like the action choices and the combos you build. So for me to give up, often a third of my actions if I don't have the popularity die or don't have boost dice, just to like make them score less, that feels not good at all to me. So, don't get me wrong, it is a straightforward solo mode. It allows you to play the game in a straightforward way. But yeah, having to decrease the fun you do just to make them score less on their super swingy random rolling, that's not my idea of a good time. So if you're at all like me in your taste, I would not recommend this for solo. And if you like racing, I wouldn't really recommend it for racing. But if you like semi-strategic deck builders, although the deck builder is not that strong of a part, if you like cool action puzzles, there we go. If you like cool action puzzles, you like this whole thing of cards staying around for a while, I think that's really cool. Like, strip the deck building part away, strip whether it's racing away, if you don't get annoyed by the dice, I think this is the best thing about the game. And if you dig that action system, if you dug with like the combos I was building, or not building in my case, in the race I just ran, then I think this game might work for you. But yeah, for me, Dirt and Dust is probably going to be a call. It's definitely is not what I wanted it to be. I'm not even saying it's a good or bad game. I think that's going to depend greatly on the eye of the beholder. But for me, as a racing fan and a deck building fan and a solo mode fan, none of that worked for me really at all. So sorry to say it, but I hope that was helpful for others in making their own decisions. Thanks for watching, everybody. And a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Steve Wren, Pedro Lucas, Miles, Casey W., Andrew R., and Chris C. We'll see you at the next stop.